Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream, and the markets are making a very nice relief rally, if you will. It's not technically a relief rally in the sense of, it going up, just continuously going higher and higher, but the markets are looking green right now, which is reassuring, no doubt. And you could argue that it's starting to follow, maybe a little bit preemptively, but starting to follow in accordance to the M2 money supply, which of course means that we should be hopefully seeing Bitcoin and crypto start to rally going into May and June time as well. Still early to call that. Again, the correlation between Bitcoin and the M2 supply is 80%. It's not exact, but still things are looking up right now. Bitcoin's up 5.34% on the daily time frame. Everything right now is looking very green for the most part. XCN, we talked about it recently. We saw a nice little rally for XCN 3 days back, and then a big one now. It's had a massive 56% rally today. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that later today to find out what's causing XCN to go so parabolic. For me, I think it's one that, again, I highlighted in the video that I made a month back. It could be worth looking into making a small play into it, but it is very risky. So again, do your own research. That being said, though, XCN is obviously looking very bullish today in that regard, but we are here mainly because of Casper. And well, Casper is equally performing very well today, currently up 9.19% on the daily time frame, valued at 7.5 cents. We have managed to regain 7 cents so far, which is very bullish. We have not seen 7 cents Casper for, what feels like forever. It's been a little bit over a week, truth be told, but either way, as we can see, Casper had been following this downward sloping wedge for a long time, and again, this stuff is not always 100% accurate either. TA can be very hit or miss. I think the fundamentals have more effect on the market, and the fundamentals right now are looking bullish for crypto. So Casper, as a result of the fundamentals, broke above this downward sloping wedge, and now, therefore, could be an indicator that it's going to start breaking up and trying to break up towards 10 cents again. Right now, we can see Casper's getting rejected at 7.5 cents, but either way, it is still looking very good today, and we can see another level of resistance would be in and around 8.3 region right here. So if you surpass that, this could be a very nice and clear run up to 10 cents Casper again. And, don't be emotional, be logical. We could definitely see it get rejected at 10 cents and come back down a little bit longer, but at the same time, some of my sources suggest that we could see very little resistance surpassing this zone right here. Meaning it may just be green hills going all the way back up again, but time will tell. Either way, we have a lot of very big announcements to come from Casper today in crypto. We've got some leaks regarding Casper smart contract developments and that sort of stuff, and equally more exchange listings and whatnot, and equally a kind of an unfortunate, somewhat bearish announcement, which is regarding the fact of Grayscale. They have no longer got Casper as an asset under consideration. We'll get into all of that in the stream as always, but if you enjoy these daily FOMO content, this information, then as always, feel free to leave a like, help out more than you know, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And if you want to keep up to date with all things crypto, Casper, and in general, find out in real time as opposed to once a day, come check out the free Discord server. Links to join are in the description below, and also on my homepage right here as well. Equally, come check out the VIP group. We do a lot more in there as well, but I'll talk about that later on as well. Either way, welcome back everyone to the, to the quick crypto family again. Welcome back. Hopefully you're all having a very good Friday so far. Buffalo Theory, my man, welcome back. First, indeed, devious me. Second, great to hear. Welcome back, my man. Greg, sub QC, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, Greg. Hope you have a very good day so far. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Dimitar, Jonathan is Satoshi. I mean, if it's going to be anybody, it would be Jonathan Polinsky in my belief, but no one can confirm that, truth be told. What's up, TP, my man? White House mining Casper, future US reserve. Yes, we covered the White House mining Casper in yesterday's stream, and we came to the conclusion as a collective that it's more so that someone's probably got a VPN or something like that, and just therefore has put a random location that is somehow selected into the White House or near the White House. I doubt it is actually the White House mining Casper, because that would mean the node's been there for over 2 years. So that would mean Biden or someone in his administration in that, when he was in power, was mining Casper, and Biden hated crypto. So, we can speculate. Of course, I like the idea that, the White House is bullish on Casper. But for me, I did highlight that whether it be the case or not, I think in the future, they will probably be bullish on Casper, because what they are building is something that is just going to generates so much demand and adoption for me. Welcome back, Kryptonian, my man. Here we go. You know it. Casper next up $1. Hey, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, very early to call that. We're only at 7.5 cents right now. But hey, $1 Casper would be a very, very big dream of ours. We can see right now on CoinMarketCap that, again, Casper started to get more momentum again. You know, just short of $2 billion market cap, which is very, very good. But also, we're now staying. This is like the, what? This would make it, what, the like 5th or 6th day in a row, something like that. Let me quickly just make sure. Yeah, about a week or so almost, where we've seen Casper always above 100 million market cap, which is good. You know, about a week or about under, slightly under a week, about 5-6 days. 5-6 days we've been seeing Casper consistently above 100 million market cap, which could be a good indicator of, you know, the tides turning for Casper, volume coming back, and therefore the big tier ones also about to make their move. If you look at their wallet addresses right now, we can see once again they're climbing. You know, last time we spoke about this quite consistently, it was about 514,000. Now it's 518,000, and we can see wallet 2 once again scooping up more Casper. Although it's on Friday, not Thursday today, which is very, very interesting. Got just short 700 million Casper, $52.3 million, and once more we always see that it comes from Gate Exchange. Very, very interesting. Maybe they're building up for a listing. We can't confirm as such, but it's like clockwork right now. And how much they hold for me is not a holder. It's not just someone who's just got a cold storage. It's more than definitely an exchange who is just accumulating in accordance to listed Casper. And because they've been getting it from mainly Gate right now, but they used to get it from Bybit, they used to get it from KuCoin as well. Numerous different wallets for me is not just Gate, you know, shifting it to another wallet. Is more another exchange that is just, you know, accumulating from different exchanges to prepare for a listing. Either way, that is good to see once again that this wallet is continuously buying more and more, so their faith in Casper has not wavered. We can see right now, 6 million was scooped up today by wallet 76, just short of 3 million from wallet 57. Bybit's wallet scooped up another 2.8 million. A lot of very, very healthy purchases today for Casper, all across the board, which is very good to see. And again, the addresses are going up. Hash rate right now still holding a little bit lower than we like to see, currently at 872.86 petahash per second, which is a correlation of a number of things. For me, I believe it's more so the fact that right now a lot of the node operators, the miners, are switching from the current nodes that are operating to the new RK version 1.0.0. Right now the public nodes state 45%. I'm sure, I think it's actually a lot lower than that, including the private nodes as well. But at the end of the day, they all have to migrate to the new RK version 1 before the hard fork on the 5th of May, which is only, what, 25 or 24 days away now? It's not, we're counting down the days, literally, so not far off at all. It's going to be a very big day for Casper. Make no mistake of that. And when that migration fully happens and the activation happens for the hard fork, that could be a good indicator, and maybe it'll correlate to the hash rate returning again, going up higher, could have 10 BPS, making it, you know, even more secure in that regard. But also the other reason for it may be because, again, miners turning off because the price is not very profitable, and the big miners being Marathon Digital Holdings, Bitmain and iServer just pumped the hash rate way too early, making it unsustainable, and now they're having to turn some offline because they can't keep up. Either way, point being is, regardless of what the actual reason for it is, for me, I think Casper, the hash rate is going to come back, the price is going to come back, and I'm still not worried for a bit. Looking at exchanges right now, the volume for the big ones, Bybit, BitGet, 4.8 and 5% respectively, 7 million apiece. Then you've got Gate doing almost 40%, which is insane. BTCC has been very, very good for us since it started listing Casper, always having very high volume. It is, I think, it's a Chinese exchange, if I'm not mistaken. And we can see 23 million volume here, 15.9%. And then it's XT, then Gate, and so on and so forth. Again, what we need to see, though, is the big volume from the bigger exchanges, as KEF mentioned, which means Bybit and BitGet, and equally Kraken, but Kraken's volume has always been relatively lackluster for Casper. I think it's because they haven't got a stable coin pair, personally. But maybe they'll add that in the future, who knows. Either way, I think Casper, again, is looking very, very good today. Currently up 40,000% since its founding, back in 2021. One of the few projects in this space that actually has a chart that looks as bullish as this. And yeah, I am not worried for a moment where it's going to go. The developments coming out makes me very, very optimistic. A $1 Casper could be possible. Maybe it goes higher, who knows. I think we are personally underestimating Casper I think there's a lot more coming to it, and I think the space is teeing up nicely for a significant rally and reversal from here. So if we look at Casper again, currently up 9.6% daily time frame, I do think that, I'm not, don't be emotional, be logical. I do think that we could hopefully, again, it depends on the macro news, but I think we could hopefully see Casper make a push towards 10 cents again. This is a very, very key level of resistance we need to break out of. If we can break out of it cleanly, that could be a good shot to seeing us make some momentum and potentially rally against the rest of the market. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is still extremely high. When I can type Bitcoin in properly, and Bitcoin.d, there you go. Okay, I'm having a moment. Give me a sec. There you go. Bitcoin dominance is at all-time high, or not all-time highs, but it's reaching to local highs again, 63.76%, going up very, very high. But Casper right now, seemingly, is starting to outperform Bitcoin, bit by bit, day by day. Last time we saw this happen, it ended up being Casper just outperforming it by a country mile. And with the catalyst coming to Casper, Bitcoin, of course, is the biggest asset. It's got a lot of adoption coming through to it, no doubt. But Casper, the big developments that will bring it more adoption, including the lack of tier 1 exchange listings that are going to be coming through as well. Casper, for me, is going to outperform Bitcoin by a margin in this cycle. It's one of my favorite picks in the space. I can do a whole other assets as well. I made a video on Sui last night that I think Sui's got a very good shout to be a very big project. I know that a lot of, wealthy individuals, the institutions and the VCs believe in Sui as well. The likes of Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. He thinks Sui is, the best gainer, which, you could argue that point. I think Sui is definitely one of the best gainers. I wouldn't say it is the best gainer. But I think a lot of good projects are here in the space. Tau has made a very, very lovely recovery after dipping down to $168 right now. Currently up 50% from that dip down there, which is very, very nice to see. And I think Tau, again, being AI, is going to be huge as well. But yeah, Casper, again, that's what we're mainly here for. We'll get into the Casper news before we get into any more questions. I do think that a lot of things are incoming. So we can see our first one here, covering a bit of the FUD before we get into the FOMO, to keep you all informed. Our first post here from Casper Silver, and equally followed up here from Casper Daily Talks about Grayscale, who have now delisted Casper from the asset under consideration. This was brought to my attention through my free community. So again, if you want to stay up to date ahead of time, beforehand, I check out the free community, link down in the description, also on the homepage as well, my channel. I think it was Nee who put it in there. No, it was not. It was Chad. Chad put it in there and just ultimately said, yeah, why this has happened, we don't know. Of course we don't know, but obviously Casper was here under consideration and now it is not. We can see here for Casper Silver here. So it looks like Grayscale has removed Casper from being a potential asset to be listed. This could mean two things. They are preparing to list Casper, or they're completely moving on. I had a buddy reach out to them and they let them know that they're ensuring that all coins get in the top 50 get listed. So that could be reassuring. Casper has always been a contender to stay in that top 50. If you want to apply pressure into this decision, you could always ask why underneath their X post or contact them here. At the end of the day, an ETF should not be the end goal for a peer-to-peer proof of work electronic currency. The goal of Casper is not to have coins sitting in a wallet for eternity, but instead for it to be used. So that's a very, very interesting insight there. According to Casper Silver here, someone he knows, he reached out to Grayscale, and the fact that they've removed it off Casper can mean one of two things. Either they're moving on or they're actually preparing to list it. And apparently, Grayscale are trying to ensure that all coins that are in the top 50 are listed. And we can see Casper right now is at number 42. It's been rallying back up again. Casper has definitely been, toying with the top 50 for quite some time now, which, not all of us have been very, very happy about. Some people have even been using that as another thing to hate on Casper. Casper's now not in the top 50 anymore. Okay, well, it's back now and it's 42. Casper peaked at top 20 in its prime. And I think it could even get back to that this cycle, truth be told. But if that is the case, that Casper Silver's buddy is right there, that Grayscale have an intention to list all top 50 projects, then Casper being removed actually potentially is an indicator that they are now about to add Casper here. And if that happens, just think of the FOMO. Just think of the FOMO. Grayscale, Wall Street, have an access to Casper. Casper Daily highlights here, Grayscale has removed Casper from its list of asset consideration. While this may sound bearish, what it really means is Grayscale often filters assets based on custody, liquidity, and regulatory clarity, not just fundamentals. Casper is still early, its tech is ahead of time, but TradeFi may not be ready yet. Grayscale's decision doesn't change Casper's rapidly growing adoption or community strength. Zoom out, don't let centralized decisions shake your conviction in decentralized tech. And again, that's another avenue to look at it as well. One avenue is thinking, okay, from what Casper Silver is, again, you have to choose who you believe, right? From what I think, I do trust Casper Silver quite a lot. His content's been very, very logical and very well, drawn out. So I do believe that if his buddies reach out to them and he's confirmed as such, then I'll take his word for it. Of course, I cannot confirm it myself unless I try to reach out to them myself if I can get a reply. But that could be a good indicator that Casper's about to get listed on Grayscale, which is good, but also much bigger than moving on. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But again, the key part that I should be highlighting again is what Casper Silver says here, that at the end of the day, an ETF would be big for Casper, no doubt. And I did say myself, we probably get one this cycle. I think it's possible, but it's not the end goal. Institutional adoption for ETFs is big for quick price moves, but it's not the end goal. We're holding Casper as a proof of as a store of value right now, to as an investment, most of us. But at the same time, that also is not the end goal. The end goal is it to be used the same way you use dollars and pound sterling and ruble or wherever you're from. The whole premise is to be to use as a form of currency. Right now, store of value, sure, but in the future, form of currency. So it's a very, very interesting post there, actually. That's great news, honestly, I think. It can be viewed one or two ways, but either way, I don't take that as bearish news. Worst case, they've moved on, but at the same time, in my belief, they'll come back in due time. And I'm also inclined to believe that actually they are getting ready. If not, again, is what it is. But I'm still not worried in the slightest because Casper is going to change their minds very soon, in my belief, based on what they are releasing. Our next post comes from CaptainAltcoin.com, which highlights that Casper secures a new exchange listing as Crescendo upgrades sees massive leap. This is ultimately talking about what we spoke about yesterday, being Ascendex, a Singaporean-based crypto exchange that added Casper yesterday, and the trading and the withdrawals have now opened today as well. So you might see some outflows from Casper in that regard. But again, this is more and more adoption is coming to Casper, and right ahead of the Crescendo upgrade is also quite reassuring. Maybe other exchanges will follow in soon. Maybe that's why Grayscale is also moving ahead of time as well. In preparation for the Crescendo hard fork, they're now getting ready to add it. It's going to be a very, very big deal, and potentially the volume's running up again by design. So that means the retail will start looking back into Casper again as it's rallying against the rest of the market. It's not against the rest of the market, but it's right now doing better than the majority of the market for the time being. And maybe that's also by design for the tier ones to pump its value up, get more adoption to it, and then list in preparation as a catalyst for 10 BPS and the other big things coming out as well, like smart contracts and layer 2s and whatnot as well. Speaking of which, we've got some more big announcements. Actually, I'll get to these ones a little bit later on because I want to get into the smart contract news here. That's the big reason I think why all of us are in the stream today, besides just my lovely voice. We can see from here, Casper Daily. That's also not the right one. This one here, Casper Door. Are anyone asked for smart contracts on Casper? ZETA Swaps has very, very big news. We're thrilled to announce that we are the very first decentralized exchange deployed on Casplex's DevNet. ZETA Swaps also is trying to go on Igloo Labs as well. So ZETA Swaps is doing a lot right now. They're actually going to be able to seemingly bridge between Igloo and Casplex from what I'm aware of, unless something's happened that I'm not aware of. But it looks like ZETA Swaps now is going to be the very first DEX deployed on Casplex DevNet. Everything running smooth so far, and it's lightning fast. So again, huge news, and thank you for Casper Door for giving us the access. ZETA Swap, again, looking like a very, very strong, and they're doing the right things is what I could say here. And again, we can see a sort of what it's looking like right now, sort of how it's all working, how quick it is. All the links to this I'll be leaving down in the in my YouTube, in my community, my Discord server. If you go and check it out there, you can find out. But again, that's huge new smart contracts coming all around the board. We've seen Casplex furthermore, as we progress through the development of the base rollup layer 2 on Casper, we want to share a small but important update. Smart contracts can now be verified on our layer 2. That is huge. They're working towards this for a while now, and it's official, they can now be verified. The layer 1.5 is literally here. Those who are part of the DevNet can check it out and test this functionality. And this is, again, huge news, and this here is very, very funny, and I'll get to why in a moment. Casper had no idea about this, so we couldn't leak it, because Casper actually just leaked something very, very big in this that we're going to show you in the stream in just a moment here. But again, this is this is again what we're waiting for. It's going to bring so much more adoption and usage to Casper, more demand, and therefore likely higher prices as well. A few more developments and fine tuning on the layer 2 based rollups for Casplex, and we are good to go. So it looks like this was a little bit ahead before this post here. But we can see we're unleashing Casper and its power. 1, 2, 3 seconds for confirmations on the fastest and most secured decentralized layer 1 based rollups. The sequencing of the transactions is done on Casper. No third party needed. More secure decentralized endgame. It is literally just like that. A simple flow chart. Based rollups on Casper. The sequencing of the transaction is done on Casper. There's no third party needed. Therefore it's more secure. It's decentralized. That is the endgame. That's what everybody's going to want to. Everyone's going to want that, whether they realize it or not. The true value of decentralization is going to be realized in full force in the years to come, even the months to come, even the weeks to come, with Casper, what they're releasing very, very soon as well. And then we got this response here from Chris Kang. After Casper door, highlighted here, I might get fired from Casplex, which is funny because he only joined Casplex like last week. He only got added to Casplex's team last week and he's already leaking stuff. So that's very, very funny. But he highlights here, might get fired from Casplex for doing this, but we had an internal meeting and there are some quite outstanding updates on layer 2 and Casplex as a whole. The public testnet is right around the corner. The mainnet is not far off as well. It won't take months, is all you can say. So that could be in correlation to my predictions, which has been we'll see 10 BPS come out in May, which is mid Q2, and then we'll see the layer 2, the mainnet release for Casplex and likely Iglabs as well coming out in Q2 as well, maybe even late May, if not early June. But I think it could possibly be May, if that's just my prediction, purely because from what we saw from Johnny a while back, their plans to get stablecoins integrated onto Casplex in Mayish time as well, or at least the opcodes that allow stablecoins in May as well. So that's the case, therefore, you might see it all taking place in May, so May could be an extremely bullish month for Casper. All the big developments coming out at the same time, almost like it's by design, 10 BPS, smart contracts, and stablecoins, if that all happen in the same month, that could drive some serious demand for Casper. Documentation, GitHub, APIs ready as well. New website for Casplex is probably next week. So new website for Casplex as well. The Blockchain Explorer link will be shared before the testnet launch. This is called leaping info. This is what we love to see as a community. All this stuff there. Of course, they've got to keep some stuff, tight-lipped, because the last thing you want to do is just drive so much FOMO and then don't be able to hit your goals and your targets. Therefore, you kind of end up generating more FUD. But him doing this is also potentially a sign they are very, very confident they're going to get it all done in the right timing. So, it's very, very good to see a lot of stuff going to be announced in the next couple of weeks. And then equally the full release of the layer 2 and, effectively EVM smart contracts for Casper is, not months away. So probably, I imagine the next 5-6 weeks or so max, my belief personally. Very, very good to see all in all. And of course, there's a lot more coming to Casper that I'll cover in just a moment. But this is, again, what we want to see. And probably the reason why Casper is outperforming the market today. Or at least pumping higher than the rest of the assets today. You've got assets like Ethereum only up 2.8%, XRP 4%, Sui 5%, C 5%, Tau is keeping up with Casper right now. And of course, then you've got XCN just doing a madness at 55%. But Casper is, seemingly making its return, its reverse rally. And, I think is a good thing to see finally. We might finally be able to celebrate on this channel, because since we started streaming, it's been going down. So it would be a very, very good thing to see it finally start to go up. Let's get some questions real quickly before we get into more announcements as well. Casper $2, potentially, who knows? That would be a $50 billion market cap or just over $50 billion market cap. So it's not out of the possibility. 200k is Casper. 200k Casper is a very, very healthy bag, my man. So, great stuff all around. Cricket is about to list it. That's why I think it's been pulled. Yeah, that's just effectively what Casper Silver highlighted here as well, that potentially they removed it in preparation to actually list it. So it could be a sort of reversal type thing. So again, that is, also very interesting. When to sell? I'm not selling. At the end of the day, I'll take some profits, but it depends how you clarify selling. If you clarify selling and taking your whole bag out, I'm not taking my whole bag out. I might take some profits, but at the same time, I'm treating Casper as, effectively my next bank. Store of value bank, and also where I used to transact as well. So I do deem Casper as the future form of money. Now, in regards to the question of more so when to sell, it really depends on the market. I can't say when it's going to top out. Some sources suggest it's going to be in Q4, some say Q3, some say it's going to be Q1 in 2026. We don't know yet. All we could do is just turn up here every single day, analyze the market, and go from there. We have to wait and see. Don't sell yet. I mean, I'm not selling yet, no doubt. Exchanges buying from exchanges should drive price up as they need to restock. Potentially. I mean, right now we've been seeing, which actually was also some of the posts here as well, might have been this one. If not, there have been posts from Capital Daily in the past highlighting that more and more Casper is being taken off exchanges, which is a sign. I think it's like 500 million Casper or something like that, ridiculous. Which is a sign, therefore, that is more being put into cold storages or private wallets, more so to store value elements, so less is being in circulation, therefore, which is a reassuring sign the price should be starting to rally as a result. What if Jonathan Sompolinsky is Satoshi and he is keeping it a secret to let Casper mature, and when it's ready, he's going to inject that 1 million Bitcoin wallet of liquidity into directly backing Casper, make it completely indestructible? If that happens, well, just think about the bags we'll have. That's all I can say. That would be insane. It would probably capitulate Bitcoin, crash Bitcoin, but at the same time, it would send Casper leapfrogging probably straight to number one, if that was the case. I don't see how it wouldn't do, because that would be confirmation from Satoshi Nakamoto that Casper is the upgrade of Bitcoin. And therefore all Bitcoin maxis will just have to come to the acceptance that, okay, yeah, that was, Casper has to be it. Although some will still be stubborn about it, I'm sure. I would read that book. Yeah, I mean, I would read the hell out of that book, no doubt. Or that documentary. Maybe that's what the documentary is meant to be about, who knows. Grayscale removed it from asset accumulation, yet the price keeps going up. Yes, because it's not... I mean, I think that's a sign. Everyone agree. Maybe it is. I mean, yeah, the price is going up because the markets are going up in general, but I think it also could... I mean, again, this is just speculative, but it could be an indicator of something incoming. And again, from Casper Silver's post here, it highlights that apparently Grayscale to have the intention to add all assets in the top 50 to their product suite. And Casper is number 42 right now. And it's been in top 50. I think it's dropped out top 50 on a few occasions, but it's been in the top 50 for well over a year. So it's, proven itself to be one of the higher level assets. And what they're building, for me, is going to be an even bigger asset. It's going to be one of the most highly demanded ones going forward. So that could be, again, a huge indicator. I might make a video later today covering some of these sources today, and ultimately get into a little bit of the speculative nitty-gritty about Grayscale and what they could do for Casper with ETFs, which again, those who've been watching me for a while would have heard my prediction to say we could see ETFs for Casper this cycle. It sounds ridiculous, but we've got ETPs already with Valor Funds, which have connections to 21 Shares, which is Cathie Wood's company, or works with Cathie Wood type thing. So we could very well see ETFs with Grayscale and stuff as well, and this could come to fruition very soon, sooner than we think. Do you think smart contracts this year? Well, where's the post? Here. That confirms it's this year. Yeah, my short answer is yes. The sources also says yes. Smart contracts this year, the EVMs, which are smart contracts coming out this year, and even then the actual base smart contracts, some plenty making them this year as well. So ZK smart contracts, ZK rollups, that sort of stuff is coming out this year, 100%, and maybe in the next few months. I think it come out in Q2, latest Q3, but Q2. But yeah, it's looking very, very good right now. They're probably about to lift. It could be the case. Keeping the hash rates down. I mean, yeah, hash rate down actually is a good thing for those who are still mining, because it means they're actually able to have less resistance, therefore able to mine blocks easier as well. Let's see what happens. I mean, yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of months, no doubt. I think May is going to be absolutely, generational for Casper and the crypto space as a whole, following the M2 supply potentially, and Casper's big development seems to be coming out in May, so it's looking very good so far. They have big bags to dump on you. They're going to say it's going to the moon. Sui. I mean, yeah. Again, I think I personally think that Sui is a project that will do well this cycle. And I clarify again this cycle. Will it be the next big thing? I don't know. I know that Sui's founder, he is very much prioritizing speed, and Sui is definitely competing with the likes of Solana right now, very early on. But I'm not sure how good Sui's longevity is. It has some good partnerships, partnering with Merkle Science to kind of give it some institutional grade custody and security. So it's got that element, but at the same time, when you're trying to look for me personally, when you're trying to look for some real longevity, great asset, for me, Casper's a no-brainer, because what it's building is meant for institutional level and for everything, while also being completely decentralized, which is something that no other asset in the space can claim. Everything else that says DeFi is not. For the most part, from my knowledge, nothing in the space has actually, when they have the DeFi tag on it, it's DeFi as a tag, but there's a central authority controlling it. It's not truly DeFi. Casper is going to be the first true DeFi. What's up, Rule Britannia, my man? Is anyone invested in ICP as well? I am not personally. If regarding to AI speculative projects, I prefer Tau than ICP. But I know people do have some belief in ICP. I'm not exactly sure the reason why, because I've not looked into ICP properly. And because I've got my bags I'm holding anyway, so I don't feel the need to look into ICP personally. But I mean, if it's a good bag, you think it's worthwhile, then by all means go for it. But I'm not invested personally. Very little. The chart looks awful. It would take a miracle to break all-time highs, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, with ICP, it does look pretty tragic from the chart. I mean, there are many other projects in the space that are similar to that regard. Jasmine is also quite close in that regard to what ICP's chart looks like. So it would take a lot to break all-time highs. Although if you're looking at it from a perspective of right now, let's say it rises to to even $20, that's a 4x from here. I'm not sure how high it rises in this cycle. All I know is that it launched middle of last cycle and came down drastically. It peaked here when the cycle topped out, and then it's been going down since. And then it's had some nice little rallies up, jumping to just short of 20 cents or $20 then and then it's come back down to 5 right now. Will it do well? I don't know. I just don't know enough about it to really make a comment on ICP. I know it's a bigger asset than Casper right now in regard to market cap, but for me, the only reason why I would contemplate looking at ICP is because it's got the AI tag next to it, so apparently it's AI. But in that regard, then I'm like, well, Tau is decentralized, and I think Tau's a better AI project personally. And there are many other AI projects as well in this space that I talk about in my executive community, my VIP group, that I also think is a lot better as well. So, you're my favorite channel now. I thank you very much, Dimmerton, my man. I appreciate it very, very much. I try and do what I can do to try and just spread the love and the support of crypto and Casper. So I appreciate it very, very much. I'm glad that you enjoy the content, and hopefully you'll stick around for the years to come when we all can look back at this stream and streams and be happy that we came from nothing, or figuratively came from nothing, to be millionaires with crypto and Casper. All time for Casper this year, I think quite comfortable. I think comfortably surpassed that. Welcome back, Eternal Might. Hope you're doing very, very well, my man. How many Caspers do we need per person? I mean, that is a question that I simply cannot answer. All I can say is as much as possible. Try and get as much as you possibly can. That's all I can say, I guess. Yeah, exactly. No matter how much you have, you always should buy more. I mean, even now, I wish I could buy more. I'm waiting for the dry powder, but I still want to buy more now. Have you seen that CM Kid has a chapter in his book dedicated to Casper? I have not. I don't know who that guy is either, personally. Maybe, well, at least I can't put a name to the face. But I mean, yeah, if you can, by all means, show me that. Send me a link or whatever through Twitter or through my Discord community. Then, I mean, I'll have a look, see what it's about. I'm reading on Reddit from 2 years ago that many people have 1 million Casper plus. A lot of people right now are long-term holders. If you go on Casperlytics right now, and we go to the balance. No, I want to go balance. I want to go to total Casper. I'm trying to, right, which one is it? I'm trying to remember which one it does in correlation to time. You can take inactive supply. Yeah, here you go. So you got 3 month inactive supply. You can see right now, inactive supply right now is nearing all-time highs in the last 3 months, which is reassuring. In the 6 months, it's starting to make a rally back up again, which is also reassuring. The last year, it is also returning to all-time highs. Then as you go to 2 years, it's literally at all-time highs right now, and even 3 years. So people are holding for a long time. They're climbing up higher and higher. There's a lot of store of value elements in Casper right now. And those have over 1 million Casper. You can also check that out here. Balanced by 1 mil Casper here, 1 mil plus. You can see, there's quite a lot of people. Over 3,000 people have over 1 million Casper. We saw a massive fall off for when it, peaked up here. But either way, people still holding. It's still over 3,000 people are holding over 1 mil Casper. How long they'll be holding for, there's probably a way to figure it out, but for the life of me, I can't do that. But I imagine most people who are holding for over 2 years now probably have a significant amount of Casper and are probably whales. But anyway, before we get into more of the questions right now, I am going to get into some more of the source for today's stream. So the next post here is from Captain Sats here, which is a very, very interesting point here. I'm just saying maybe connect the dots yourself. The link is below. You can see here that one of the projects that the DRI Desert Energy and KRI themselves are kind of both trying to onboard, if you will, is ZETA, which is Zero Emission Trading Exchange, or at least the ZETA Alliance. And what we can see here, the ZETA Alliance, Zero Emission Traders Alliance, is an initiative designed to help shape the transparent market for initially liquid, physical, and virtually clean energy products with a focus of the MENA region, which is very interesting because ZETX, KRI confirmed they're originally targeting the MENA region as well. ZETA promotes the Clean Energy Hub, a platform where buyers and sellers of green commodities can transact in a transparent manner and where green molecules or electrons can be traded. ZETA is a non-for-profit foundation established in the Netherlands with a team based in the United Arab Emirates, which is also interesting because that also correlates to KRI as well. First activities are taking off in GCC and Turkey. With the cross-regional focus, ZETA is a standalone entity in close cooperation with DRI Desert Energy. DRI partners that wish to join ZETA will enjoy a reduced annual ZETA partnership fee onwards from 2024 onwards. And we can see the partnerships here include Shell, Bosch, you got WSP, you got many more. You got DHL, you got the Eon here, massive company as well. There's so many huge institutions here that are working on, these are the leading partners here, Eon be one of them, strategic partners here, these are the associated partners here as well, all working with the KRI and DRI Desert Energy, and you've got ZETA, and that seems to be very closely correlated to ZET Exchange. So this is therefore maybe a hidden connection that Captain Sats have made here to highlight that these are the institutions that will be jumping on top of Casper's KRI's ZTEX when it's released, which will be released later this year, following smart contracts again. And KRI already have their Casper EVM as well up and running, which is reassuring as well. KRI also made a post here, what happens when you take Casper decentralization seriously? You go beyond redundancy, you go beyond sovereignty. What would you like to prove that? What would it look like to prove that? So this is still correlating to KRI's been leaking some sort of this picture here, sort of outer space thing, and I think it's more so just them saying Casper's about to change the world as opposed to a new project itself. But either way, this is what I'm talking about. Very, very soon, I'm sure many institutions and governments may all start taking true decentralization very, very seriously, and Casper's is just second to none. Absolutely insane stuff. And again, this is what we're seeing right now, the development of smart contracts coming out quicker and quicker, very, very reassuring, some big leaks as well. And I'm sure that is also something that institutions like Grayscale are looking at as well. That's also why I'm inclined to in regards to the two sorts, whether it's going to be them just leaving and moving on or actually preparing for Casper listing, I'm leaning towards the latter of them actually preparing to add Casper to their product suite. Because what they're building, think about it. It's the same argument you can make for holders. Why would someone as a holder for Casper sell right now, literally weeks and months away before, not even months, it's literally weeks away before 10 BPS and smart contracts and stablecoins. And then there's still tier 1 listings coming through. And the KRI therefore launching their initiative institutions as well. We're a few months away at most. Why would an institution who has the researchers behind them as well delist something just before that happens? Especially if they're meant to be trying to list all projects in the top 50. Casper's been there for years. So for me, I think I'm inclined to personally believe that actually it's going to be more so Grayscale about to list Casper, which would be a very, very big FOMO driver as well. I'm not saying it's going to pump the price leaps and bounds, but it'll bring more FOMO as well. You know, those who seem to care a hell of a lot about you need the institutional adoption from Wall Street to do well. If Grayscale adds them, it would be very, very hard to ignore Casper after that. A lot of the FUDsters will probably still try to FUD Casper, but their credibility will be lacking even more so than usual. Because a lot of the FUD comes down from lack of institutional adoption and lack of adoption and utility. But that's coming out. And if Grayscale adds them, then that's proof they believe it as well. So why would you as a trader disagree with, you know, what institutions are doing? Of course, they have their own personal agendas, but they also want to get something when it's cheap to make as much money as possible. You know, I don't wholeheartedly believe institutions blindly, of course, but if Grayscale to add Casper, for me, it makes perfect sense. You wouldn't add it so it goes down and collapses. They add it because they believe it's going to do very, very well. Not all these projects in the top 50 are going to survive, of course, but for me, Casper's one thing that will do. And, you know, we got here from Casper Daily as well. Casper's recorded the highest community sentiment in the crypto market today with a score exceeding 90, which is extremely bullish news. This metric, which aggregates social media activity, engagement quality, and positive to negative sentiment ratios, suggests a notable rise in community confidence. Such a high sentiment score typically indicates a strong alignment of retail interest, positive narratives, and reduced short-term fear or doubt among holders. Such sentiment spikes have often preceded increased trading volume, and Casper's, you know, adoption's coming back higher and higher. We're seeing more partnerships as well coming through, all crypto autos, so you can get, you know, supercars with Casper. You got crypto tax calculator. Both of these happened on the 3rd of April, so I'm a few days late, but even this as well, so you can work out your tax with Casper as well, which is good. So you can do transactions with Casper and work out your tax through here as well, and other partnerships as well. So again, huge news all around for Casper. And I think we are just encroaching onto the inevitable reversal and the price rally and all-time highs and then some. You know, considering that, you know, the macro developments are starting to look up as well. The SEC are having their second roundtable on crypto regulations today. That might have just happened actually, 1 a.m. I always forget the plus minus. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time to UK. That would be 6. That's already gone now. That's about 3 hours ago now. So that's already happened. And they've got another 3 more at least, I think. Apparently the White House says that Trump is open to making a deal with China. So they're still unsure, still uncertain. But again, things are starting to, you know, the uncertainty is starting to dissipate a little bit, which is somewhat reassuring. And as a result, therefore, even gold prices are making a recovery and they hit all-time highs. Gold prices have reached a new all-time highs, passing $3,200 per ounce. This surge occurred amidst heightening geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainties, including concerns over the impact of tariffs on the global economy. The increasing gold price reflects its role as a safe haven asset during times of financial instability. And of course, we could argue that Bitcoin is the digital gold, and therefore Bitcoin will similarly start to make a nice rally going forward as well, in correlation to gold, and start to go up against the geopolitical tendencies. So right now, it's not been doing as much. Although in saying that, when you see stocks jumping and dropping down, you know, 10, 12 trillion in value, and crypto's not becoming back. I mean, crypto's a smaller market cap, of course, but in comparison, it's still becoming back very, very small. Very, very small. Bitcoin is only down right now 23% from all-time highs. S&P 500, if you look at that, it's doing well right now, but you look at it from its recent highs, it's currently down 13%, so it's not as much. But when you compare that to, you know, this is trillions of dollars we're talking about here. Trillions of dollars. It's a lot of money, whereas Bitcoin comparatively is not coming down nearly as much. So I think crypto's holding up a lot stronger at least, which is a good indicator for where crypto's going to go in the cycle with more regulatory policies coming through. And equally, Casper for me is going to catch that ride and then some with what is coming out for it and what's being built for it. All seem to be lining up perfectly for Q2 into Q3, just in time for stablecoin regulations in America and many other big things. Like we'll probably see some early signs of I want to believe we'll start seeing some rate cuts announcements going into May, latest for me, I'm hoping June, because again, inflation's down, which is good. Jobs are up also, which is good. So there's not really a need to halt rates still. If inflation's down, you can afford to cut rates. So we can start seeing that all happening in May, and that therefore means that Bitcoin could end up following the empty supply here, meaning we'll start seeing it rally going into May time, which would be very, very good. and we might see Casper start outperforming it with all their big developments as well. Potentially, you see that also be an indicator for the tier 1s to finally launch their spot list for Casper, and just Casper passing into a frenzy. Of course, that's speculative. It's not financial advice. Do your own research, but I'm optimistic. That's all I can say. I'm not being emotional, of course. I've been in Casper for a long time, longer than when I started streaming, of course. But since I started streaming as well, I've been in this, and even then, I'm still remaining emotionally neutral. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. If it goes down, cool. If it goes up, fantastic. If it goes down, I'll buy more. If it goes up, I'll wait for the next dip. Because for me, again, Casper, what's coming out for it, a lot of big developments, institutional adoption, more retail adoption as well. We're seeing the FOMO starting to flow back in slowly. That'll also cause this market to recover as well, the KS20 market, when the adoption for Casper comes back as well. We'll see Nacho start to soar most definitely. Kango will be great. PB Cas could be very big. I think PB Cas is meant to be in the gaming sector, which could be quite big. It's got quite a few holders as well. Casper, Casper Ghost, Goad, and many, many more as well. I think will do a very, very good job. Wolfie is one that I think could do very well as well. So Casper, again, for me, is in a prime position to see a very significant reversal. This is highlighting the current sentiment in the market right now, how it's fallen off at a confidence of 40.064. We're nowhere near the peak right now, so we've got more market to come, in my belief. Inflation's down. Things are looking good for crypto, personally. Tariffs are the noise. This is what I've been highlighting in my community here. The what page, the CoinFactor VRP group, that tariffs are cause of what affecting the markets right now. It's the noise, so of course you've got to pay attention to it, but they are the noise that you've got to pay attention to it to understand it's going to affect the markets, but not that it's going to be important as much in the long term for crypto, in the sense of, well, what's happening in this market right now. What matters more is the fundamental developments and the macros of regulatory policies and inflation data and job data. That sort of stuff has always affected the markets and held it up better. The tariffs is a black swan type event. We don't know how ultimately the markets are reacting, because we don't know how the market's going to retaliate to the tariffs. Like, the tariffs coming down so harsh, we saw when Trump announced it. Before the 90-day pause, that correction there was not because tariffs were in play, because tariffs weren't even released just yet. Tariffs didn't even come out yet. Well, at least not the reciprocal tariff didn't even come out yet. So that just happened because people were worried what it would do. People were just emotional and jumping ahead of the game. Tariffs are causing corrections, but the fundamentals matter more for me, and that's what we're talking about in this community here. So, if you want to find out more about it, again, we'll be doing our weekly live stream again on 2 days' time on Sunday. We do trading alerts as well there, institutional research documents, and so much more there. We're trying to find out and learn more about the space, what they're trying to look into as well. So, if you want to find out more, again, link down below in the description. 7-day free trial. So you can join for free as well for a week and see what's going on. And if you like what it is, then sign up by all means, because for me, again, the stuff we're talking about there gives me more conviction in crypto, where we're going in the cycle, and therefore also in Casper as well. I hope we can see Casper break 10 cents very soon, going into May, hopefully. If you see Casper break 10 cents going into May, if you see Casper do something like this going into May, then I'm hopeful we'll start seeing it push towards all-time highs going into the end of Q2, which would be end of June, so we get 2 months potentially of some up and down movement, but hopefully up in the most part as well. That's my personal belief. I'm hopeful at least for that. And if that happens, well, I think once we surpass areas like 15 cents, we might see a quicker movement potentially, unless people are keeping it down, like exchanges and whatnot, because people will be like, oh, Casper's had its 9-month bear pullback, and now it's going to start making a massive run again and going against the market again. Because FOMO is still there for Casper. Evidently, it's still there. That's why people are still very bullish on the project. So that's why volume's going up again. Little by little, then all at once. Exactly, Falco. All these little developments happening little by little, but then soon everyone's going to be jumping at Casper. Can we hit 6 before then, Rip? Anything's possible, but for me, it depends on the macro news. Right now, Bitcoin is currently up. If Bitcoin loses 80k again, then yeah, maybe we see it hit 6 cents again. If Bitcoin loses 80k, it goes down to like 75, 74k. Not that much. It goes down to like 78k. Then yeah, I think we see Casper come back down to 6 cents again. But it depends on the macro news. It depends what happens with tariffs. So, and yeah, I mean, you need to buy more. I mean, hell, all of us do, personally. I just happen to notice that decentralization isn't the description of XCN. XCN's not decentralized, I don't think. I mean, they've got the creators of XCN have, you know, are like the founders and stuff of like XRP, Ledger, and XLM. So they're like a combination of both. But XCN is meant purely for institutions. You know, they're not really meant for retail in the slightest, actually, even less than XRP. Again, I mean, I made a much more. I can't remember everything I spoke about, but I made a video about it about a month back. So you want to find out what I was talking about XCM, whether it's worthwhile or not, check it out. It's kind of a general outlook on the on what it is and what it could do. And I think it could be a potential for me. Again, I mean, hell, if you ape down here, you'll be looking very, very comfy if you got it down here. You know, up 3x already, and it could definitely go up higher. But again, it's a very small asset, so the risk to reward is a lot higher. So again, just be careful, do your own research, trade at discretion. If 84k gets rejected, we might go down again before trying to break AAK. Yeah, I mean, again, that's to be a level of resistance for Bitcoin. You know, if we can surpass that, be fantastic. If not, then yeah, we might see it go back down to 80k again, and then maybe you might see Bitcoin trade in between here for the time being. We'll have to wait and see right now. It just depends heavily on the macro news and also the developments on it. If we get policies coming in, there might be a chance for the reversal to come in. Oh, well, there you go. The first are back. Welcome back, DD Man. You're doing very, very well. Grayscale soon, potentially. That's what seems to be speculated from the likes of Casper Silver here, and I think it's possible. We know it's decentralized, but it's too much private for current world rulers to allow it to grow. I mean, there's a art to decentralization, and it requires transparency. So it's one of those ones. Being just decentralized and transparent is very, very difficult. I don't know too much about Moreno personally, so I'm not sure how good of a project it is. That's all I can say on the matter, truth be told. Loads of ICP holders trapped at the top, praying for a future bull run just to get near break even. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are quite a few who are still holding ICP from the top or near the top, or from the last cycle even. In the last cycle, again, if you go and check out ICP again, we saw ICP at its peak at the cycle was probably around here, I'd argue, so $78. So it would therefore require a 14, 15x, 16x for it to return to that. I don't know enough about ICP to see if it can do that or not. I would like to believe it doesn't, but again, that's based on the lack of information from me. And seeing a 16x in any asset is insane. If it's a micro cap, then sure. If it's a big cap, you know, that's a very, very insane prediction. Seeing ICP return to all-time highs of 400 for me is just not happening. For me, that's just not happening. Like, I don't know. I feel like, and even that doesn't seem to, that doesn't seem to match up properly. Back here, ICP had a 50 billion market cap, but it's kind of got 2 now. But if that's the same case, if ICP's market cap returned to all-time highs, then that's looking at only a I say only. It's not bad by any means. It's a 20x. Yes, maths head work. So that would be $100. So that's still, you know, a very, very good return if it returns to all-time high market cap. But I don't know if it can do that or not of ICP. I don't know enough about it. Love your video. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it very, very much. And I'll be hoping to make some more content in terms of videos. I mean, I do live stream every single day, of course, but in terms of actual videos, I'll be doing some more content throughout the week as well. I plan to make another Casper video sometime this week. Again, probably about the Grayscale news because they're very, very good. Of course, I made a video on IR3 yesterday. And I'll probably also make another video similar to this one here. You know, kind of a general market video because that did very well and people seemingly were, you know, they enjoyed the feedback as well. And it'll cover, you know, other alts I'm looking at. So, of course, Casper's one of them. Sui is another one. And I mentioned Tau in there as well. I'll probably mention another 1 or 2 as well, potentially. We'll see. But, you know, again, it's just giving a market outlook and what's going on. So I was tuning for that one as well when I released that. 2,772 people have 1 to 10 mil Casper right now. I mean, yeah, the big whales are still holding Casper. They're not getting shaken out. That makes me feel super poor. I mean, hey, think about the future. Don't comparing to other people is always a very easy way to get burnt out. That's why you've got to understand your limits right now. I understand my limits, and I understand how to hopefully maximize my limits as well. That's why I'm still holding Casper, and I'm not focusing on, I'm not a, humpback or a whale or whatever. Like I'm just holding what I can do and praying, while also researching more and more. I read that China and Russia will process their energy in crypto to some extent. I mean, right now, China and Russia have still been very, very standoffish on crypto, so I have to wait and see in that regard. But they know that Casper is faster and more secure. I stick to my opinion. That is what's coming to Casper, and it's going to be epic. I mean, Casper's going to shake the world. That for me is as simple as it is. Casper's going to shake the world to its core, what they're building. And soon those who faded Casper are going to wish they hadn't done, in my belief. I'm not going to be here, gloating by any means, because that's not my style. I would just once more reiterate the importance of doing research, understanding fundamentals. Don't just chase green candles. Chasing green candles can work, but the success ratio to that is a lot smaller than researching and trusting fundamentals. Last cycle I ended profitable, but I ended up getting burnt a lot and had a lot of losses. This cycle I have very, very few losses. Of course I've had some, can't predict everything, like the war developments that happened with in the Middle East. I didn't predict that. That caused a correction. This correction here in Casper we predicted, because we saw that there were no rate cuts when Japan was cutting rates and Warren Buffett sold half his stock in Apple, which is insane. So we predicted there's going to be a big crash on that day, and it happened. We saw Casper come back in this past 4 days here over the weekend. It came back 40%. We predicted that. That's research elements. That's what's important. Gigawatt. Gigawatt's also going to be very, very big as well. Why is my Discord going off? Okay, well I need to plug a PC down. As if he didn't know about KI, Paul Van Sun, Warp Core, Giga, and all the pool connections in the energy sector worldwide. I mean, Paul Van Sun definitely knew of Casper. That's ultimately what happened. The story that Roy O'Neill spoke about was that he went to speak to Shai in an event that Casper was at in Ireland, and in just 6 weeks from talking to Shai for the first time, he spoke to Paul Van Sun. They got a team together, they created a website and created the KRI in 6 weeks. Just for reference, 6 weeks to create something out of nothing is extremely fast. Those things typically take years to do. And the KRI formed from just a plan in the head to on paper with Shai to an actual industry in conjunction with DRI Desert Energy in 6 weeks' time. That's actually insane. And Paul Van Sun, and they also confirmed, Roy O'Neill confirmed that they were looking at Casper for, a good year or so. They were trying to find a way to produce their products, their solutions, whatever, with decentralization. They were going to make their own one, but they couldn't do that because there was just a lot of hassle. So they just thought, we'll just leverage Casper. And they were looking at Casper for, I think, a good few months, if not a year, before they approached them. So to answer your question, yes, they definitely knew. Can we see Casper at $1 per end of the year? Potentially. Don't see why not. Only $25 billion market cap. Around 20 cents Casper. I mean, yeah, that was 8-9 months ago. That was the golden age. When we hit those levels again, who knows? Again, it really depends. One thing that we can attest to is, while it's been a long road down, we have seen on quite frequent occasions how quickly prices can rally back up. How quickly that can happen. That happened in 2 weeks. This one here, almost a 2x, happening equally a week or two. So we can see on frequent occasions how quickly the price can rally in a short span of time. This here happened around the Kraken listing. That was a 40% rise. So we can see how quickly Casper can rise in value. So it could be, in just a span of a month, we see Casper jump from these lows up to all-time highs. We have no idea right now. It could take a lot of time, but I am optimistic Casper will surpass those levels and then some going forward as well. I'm putting these 44 cents in the banana zone. I mean, I think Casper can surpass leaps and bounds personally. Where it goes from here, we'll have to wait and see, but I think Casper is going to shock a lot of people personally. And I say that right now because right now everyone's predictions for Casper's now below $1 because it's been doing badly for so long. So some people still moon boys, and that's fair enough. I think it's a bit much, but a lot of people now are no longer saying $1 Casper, and I'm just like, I think it could surpass that. I'm not giving predictions exactly, but I just think it could surpass $1. In all honesty, if Casper hits DOT 2021 levels, that's all a man can ask for. I mean, if Casper can do that and then some, it'd be insane, no doubt. Let's go. You know it, LB. Welcome back, Casper Farmer Man. You're doing very, very well. Even into you too, brother. 4 years after piece chart looks like a dead body. It does look tragic, to say the least. Comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah, wow, that's very wise. Yeah, damn. Why all you guys so philosophical sometimes? I swear. Welcome back, Chris W, my man. Yo, quick, and now a Lambo soon. We pray. Things are looking like it's going to start running up towards May time with 10 BPS coming out. Smart contracts seemingly coming around just around the corner as well. You got stablecoins not far off as well. Grayscale now are moving it. Could be an indicator that they're going to be listing Casper very soon. So, it could be very, very close now. If Casper gets listed on BNB in the bull run, the whales are going to dump well before $2. That's why it's sad, because the rich will stay rich and the poor to decay. Casper has holders, and below will be praying for higher, then get dumped on. I mean, potentially yes, but also potentially no, because a lot of people at this point, because of how bad Casper's done in the last few months, their moonpoint predictions that they were being sold a dream about, like $10 Casper, they've now come to the realization that's very, very unlikely. So they've lowered their expectations, which is the smart thing to do. Now, where whales sell, who knows? Probably $2, yes, it could be. Will people be becoming filthy rich this cycle of Casper? Who knows? If you're holding for multiple cycles, I think yes. If you're holding to store value in a new form of money, then yes. But, it's too early to call this right now. It's still very, very early in Casper, and the sort of catalysts that are going to be coming through for Casper this year could make us surpass leaps and bounds, more than expectations. KRI, the KRI going to be big for the institutional adoption. Potentially you see Wall Street getting involved like Grayscale. You'll see ETF potentially coming through as well. You've got then Malthor might start mining more Casper. Then you've got the smart contracts, 10 BPS, the stablecoin elements as well. It's ridiculously early. Wow, caught another live on my way home from work. Great to hear, Lissa. Thank you very much for tuning in once again. I hope you're having a very, very good day so far. 44 cents, $3 minimum. I mean, who knows? Again, that would be insane for Casper, no doubt. Casper right now is looking very, very good. $9.20 right now. And yeah, the stock coming through Casper is looking very, very bullish. We're getting some listings coming through now. Slowly but surely. We had Ascendex recently, who have already listed Chaos 20 tokens, but now they listed Casper as well. You also have had Hybit, I think, as well, listed very recently as well. So you're getting more listings coming through, and then BTCC as well. So we've had 3 listings in the last 2 weeks. So it's rallying up a little bit more as well. You're seeing smart contract developments coming through more and more. ZETA doing a lot of big things. More leaks coming out about it as well, which I'll make a video about at some point, either later today or tomorrow. KRI also leaking some big things coming through. And it's just looking very, very good. And the Grayscale thing, it could be very, very important as well. You need to have profit-taking strategies to secure some profits so you can't get dumped on and have money for the future DCA. Precisely right. Just take profits at your price points. I'm holding a bag for the next bull and either way. Yeah, precisely. Taking profits is always a smart thing to do. If you want to have money to play around with, then yeah, take profits, For, example-wise, just say you want to take some profit to Casper at 25 cents. Take a small out there, take a small pot out there, and start taking small bits out as you go up. That way, you've made money, and therefore, yes, you may not make as much as you wanted to, but you've already made some back, so it's fine. Me personally, I don't think I'm going to take profit that early at all. I'm just giving examples wise. But I won't even take that much of my profit either way, because, I think Casper's going to do very, very well going forward anyways. For example, take a bit of profit at 15 cents, and then also high repeat is not bad. Exactly. I'm holding until $10. Well, that might take a bit of time, Wing Hong, truth be told. I'm not saying I can't do this cycle, but I think it's very unlikely. But who knows? I have to wait and see. But yeah, I think policy you have to imagine the $5 to $10 Casper, and maybe. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's not possible. Asking for a $125 billion market cap for Casper this cycle is not impossible. It's a bit high, but it's not impossible. But it depends on the level of adoption we get through. But again, institutional adoption coming through in the cycle for the first time. So, it could be happening for Casper. But it's tough to say right now. Next cycle is next cycle. Buy again in the bear. No reason to hold any coin. not even Bitcoin during the bear. I disagree personally, because what happens if fiat in that time completely collapses? What if fiat currency and the paper currency completely goes? Then what's the point of holding actual money? Again, I'm not saying anyone how to invest. By me, do your own research and trade your own discretion. But for me, I'm taking a majority of my bags in most cryptos. But in some bags, like crypto, like Casper and Bitcoin, I'll take some, but I'm not going to take it all. Because again, there's always the possibility, as Casper proven in the past, where it does rally against the market. So what's to say Casper won't do that again? So I will keep a bag in just in case it's going to moon, and then DC back in the dips. Top position is mindset. Project like Ada, Matic was new projects, not a lot going on in 2021, but just pure hype and community pushed the price to unrealistic gains. People would overlook communities. I mean, yeah, there is a benefit to hype predictions, but I don't want to be a moon boy at all. And I think prop predictions do have value to drive hype, but one thing that I've seen in the cycle, which again, the information that we provide in our executive community here, is hype no longer a driving factor anymore. I mean, look at Solana. Solana's come down massively because the memes have capitulated. Hype's no longer hype still drives markets, but to the same extent, it's not as big. So hype's not the same thing as it was back in the last cycle. And I think having just realistic expectations and trying to avoid the toxic mindset of price predictions can help in keeping you emotionally, sane in these cycles right now. Because if you talk about price all the time, a lot of people were saying $10, $15 Casper. They probably come back down to like $2 Casper now. Some people were talking about that. I've seen videos about it. Me personally, I've never done that. I went from talking like $4 or $5 Casper, and I just don't talk about it because I'm like, what's the point of me talking about it? If you reach that, I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to say that at all. Like it's like, okay, I made a prediction, it came to fruition, cool. But at the end of the day, for me, I not looking at the price, what I'm thinking about right now is Casper is going to. The only thing I'm thinking about is Casper going to pass all-time highs. If the pass is here, then I'm in profit, so I don't really care. I mean, my average is obviously a lot lower than that, but I'm just saying for people who bought the top, if the pass is at all-time highs, then I'm in profit. Then what does it matter how much higher it goes from there? Everything from there is just a blessing. I'm getting into Casper to make profit, and then how much profit again? I'll take some bags out to just to have to enjoy myself with effectively. But anyway, with that being said, that will be it for today's Daily Casper and Crypto live stream. A lot of massive sources coming to today's stream. Potentially, we're going to see a lot more coming in the space of Casper. Potentially, Grayscale list very soon. Looking very bullish. Some leaks as well on smart contracts as well. Just around the corner. The next couple of weeks, going into May, I think up from now until end of Q2, the second quarter is going to be probably the biggest time for Casper, no doubt, in terms of adoption and development, and we'll see what's coming through from there as well. Fiat collapsing is more probable for risk on assets markets. Yes, but at the same time, if the on-risk asset market of crypto is being incorporated into the back end of the monetary system, then it also kind of isn't, if that makes sense. Of course, if the fiscal system collapses, then, all on-risk asset markets collapse as well. But you've got people like Larry Fink and many more, smart money individuals who are talking about making blockchain an integral part of, even Scott Bessent is talking about how effectively crypto and blockchain is going to become the new Bretton Woods. So they're adopting crypto as a back-end technology that may save crypto from a fiscal collapse. Speculative, of course, but I have to wait and see. That being said, again, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, share, subscribe for more. If you want to know more about crypto market center, go check out the free community here. Equally, the WAP community there, the pay servers, 7-day free trial, VRP group, check it out once more. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow, Saturday. A lot more to cover as always, so yeah, looking good. Have a good weekend, everyone.